for another episode of the GOAT Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jim Neander, back with you again. So let's see. All right, we're getting there, folks. We're at part 11 of our 12-part draft prep series. And I know, why 12 parts? Well, you know what? We're drafting from every single draft spot. One draft from every spot, 1 through 12. Trying to help you get prepared for your drafts. I mean, at this point, it's Friday afternoon. A lot of people are drafting this weekend. This is draft weekend central, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday especially. And then all the way up till Wednesday, honestly. The games are on, first game's on Thursday, and you can draft all the way up till Thursday afternoon if you want. The later you get, the more information you're going to have, right? So I'm always a fan of drafting as late as you can. Before we get started here with our 11th pick draft, I do want to just kind of go over what our schedule is going to be like as we go into the season. We are going to be putting out 5 episodes a week, Monday through Friday. And on your regular Monday and Tuesday, we'll be reviewing the games from the week before, of course. So we'll be talking about each game in depth, talking about players that performed well, players that didn't, how we feel about that. And that'll be Monday and Tuesday. On Wednesday, it'll be a little more of a wild card day. We're going to do probably some more fun episodes, maybe some games, maybe some guests, maybe some cool things going on. And then on Thursday and Friday, we'll be previewing the next week's games, right? Seems pretty obvious. So, on Thursday, we'll talk about the Thursday night game as well as, about half of the day's action on Sunday. And then on Friday, we'll go over the rest of the games, go over them all in depth. What our feelings are about the players going into those games, what we think, and of course who you should start and sit, injuries. We're going to keep you up to date with all of that stuff as much as we can on Fridays. And we'll see. Maybe we'll get some live stuff going on Sunday on game day. Who knows? We'll see. But for now, that's the schedule. Monday through Friday, we're here for you all season long. So we're not going to abandon you this way. Someone's there to help you make your decisions all year long. So. Alright guys, we're on the 11th pick now in a PPR mock draft, so we're going to go ahead in a second here, get this draft started. Alright, now, at the 11th pick, so, if you've been following along with the 10th pick there, we went running back, wide receiver, these 2 picks that are close together, and while it gives you one of the top wide receivers, you have to wait a long time before you get another running back, and that can be a little bit difficult. So let's look at our draft board. So the top 4 went as usual. Then Michael Thomas, Eckler at 6, a little bit shocking there, with Dalvin Cook at 7, Kenyon Drake at 8, highest I've seen him go, Devontae Adams at 9, Derrick Henry at 10. So I know we have drafted him a couple of times here, but I'm going to draft Joe Mixon, and I'm going to hope that Josh Jacobs comes back around. I want to start with those 2 running backs. I only have a couple of players to wait. So, let's see. DeAndre Hopkins and Miles Sanders at the turn. So, I like this. I like Mixon and Jacobs. Now, the only problem here is I have 2 running backs that, it's definitely very questionable how much more involved in the passing game they're going to be. Neither one of them was very high reception, guys. And they both have those goals of reaching, higher reception totals this year. But we definitely don't know about that. But I have to go ahead and have to take him, I think. Even passing up Clyde Edwards-Helaire, which... in the second round with the receptions, it's tough to do that. But make the pick. We'll see what happens. All right. So after that pick, a nice little wide receiver run, along with some tight ends. Then you had the top 2 quarterbacks going at the front of the 3rd round. And then some more wide receivers with Mark Andrews in the middle of the 3rd round. So, the 2 quarterbacks, the 3 tight ends are off the board that you expect by this time. Usually you expect Andrews to go into 4th. This is a little bit aggressive, mid-3rd. But I'm not going to go with Ertz here in the 3rd. If he fell to me at the end of the fifth, I would take him, but I don't think he's going to fall there, and I don't want to pay for him at the 402. So we're going to be waiting again. We're going to be waiting again for tight end, which is all right. So James Conner is still there with Chris Carson, and I can get a receiver that I love. What are they going to go? He's going to get 2 picks. He's going to go 1 running back and 1 receiver. Probably. So I can take Chris Carson. I can take whoever he doesn't take, really. I can take 2 receivers, and I can wait to come back around. I can get 2 receivers that I love here. There's other receivers down the board that I like, and I'll get 2 of them in a row. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to go James Conner. Listen, if you've been listening, I think he could be a top 10 potential player. And I'm going to have a lot of shares of him. And there you go. There are the 2 guys I talked about. Chris Carson, Zach Ertz. I didn't want Ertz that early in the 4th. So, yeah, that means we're definitely going to be waiting for tight end. We're going to take whoever our favorite wide receiver is here, knowing that, we're not going to get any of this next group here, unfortunately. So, I want to stay true to my rankings, and I'm going to go with Tyler Lockett, because I don't think he's going to be there when we get back. Ooh, yeah. That's a lot of picks to wait, honestly. So, there you go, man. 8 receivers in a row to finish off the 4th round. That takes a lot of those good names out of there. Terry McLaurin, Metcalf, A.J. Brown, DJ Chark, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Calvin Ridley, all these guys, and I like them all. I chose Tyler Lockett, and he's my highest rated among that group. So I wanted to stay true to my rankings, and that's where I went. And as we pull back into the area here, you all see we're faced with these guys in every round. This is what happens. The same guys are falling, the same guys aren't falling. I like the same guys, so it's a little bit, of an exercise in futility to keep drafting the same guys. But, if you know that I like them, then there's no reason not to draft them. I think Michael Gallup will come back to me here, obviously, in 2 picks. So if I have someone I like that I don't think is going to make it back, now's the time to do it. I don't know if that's Mark Ingram. Not really big into Mark Ingram right now. Devontae Parker. Where are we at? We're in the 5th. Minute left. Not going to look at one of the quarterbacks yet or one of the tight ends. So we're going to pick, whoever's my favorite out of all these guys. What do I have? Do I have 3 running backs? I already have 3 running backs. It really has to be a receiver. It's going to be Devontae Parker. And then it's going to be Michael Gallup coming back. Yep. All right. So that's it. We did it. So we're at 3-3. Now I got to tell you, it's very, very possible that a lot of my drafts will look like this: 3 running backs and then 2 or 3 wide receivers right after that. I just love these receivers. When I wait and I wait and I wait, like I said, I think I've already had maybe this group of receivers on a team. Tyler Lockett, Devontae Parker, Michael Gallup are all wide receiver 1s in my rankings. So I might be moving Devontae Parker a couple of slots down, but he's still going to be, in the top 15, 16. So to get him, as one of my 3 wide receivers, I'm very happy with that. Now I can look at upside players. I can look at depth. I can go from there. I had already thought about getting Kareem Hunt with my last pick, but I didn't. All the quarterbacks are starting to go now. So looks like only 2 teams don't have a quarterback, myself and this team 6 here. So, I like Stafford, I like Brady, and I like Rodgers. I'm going to bring Rodgers back down a little bit to earth this year from where he is in my rankings right now, but I do like him. Kareem Hunt's my guy here, though. Again, no one should be surprised there. We know Hunt has his own value, and we know what he can be if Chubb gets hurt, if anything happens to him. So, but Hunt's going to get passes. He's going to get receptions. He's going to get a little bit of work lined up outside of the backfield, in the slot or out wide. So, there's very much opportunity there for Kareem Hunt, even with Nick Chubb there in Cleveland's offense. very run heavy. Kevin Stefanski run offense. Keep having trouble spitting that out, man. Stefanski. All right. I don't know if that helped or not. All right. So if I don't go quarterback here, I'm waiting, and it's very possible that Brady and Stafford, one of them's going to come back to me, right? Because everybody else has a quarterback. So we're going to play that game. Just assume no one's going to get a second quarterback yet, and I'm going to wait the whole long wait and get either Brady or Stafford. I'm fine with that. So I'm going to wait. Look at the guys that are up here. Just knowing I'm going to miss out on all these guys here. And let's see my team again really quick. So you got 4 running backs and 3 wide receivers here. So we really can go anywhere that we want to. And I can go running back again if I want to. That's fine. And I think I'm going to. I'm going to go Antonio Gibson. We know the upside, can be that he is the number 1 guy in an offense that's going to be behind and throwing the ball and dumping it off probably a good amount. So, Gibson, he's going to be a really huge, factor one way or the other, right? People are drafting him, so, either he's going to be something or he's not. And a lot of people are going to be stuck with a piece they can't use if he's not anything, so we'll see. All right, time to get back on the wide receiver depth. We'll look back at tight end. As I mentioned, no quarterback went, only 1 tight end. So the positions that we don't have at this point, people have filled them, and we don't have to rush. That's just the truth. So wide receivers with high upside. I do like Preston Williams, but I already have Devontae Parker. So I'm not going to go with the second guy there. I really like Ruggs, but he's gone. I like Nicole Hardman. I like Alan Lazard. I like a lot of these guys. I don't know why the running backs aren't going, but I'm going to get a wide receiver, and I can still look back at one of these high upside running backs here in the next round. I'm going with Judy. So much of the talk out of camp has been just really, really high praise. All right, so carry on. Preston Williams. Still need tight end, still need quarterback. Still probably not going to get either one of them right now. Going to wait. Higbee's still there, waiting a long time. Gesicki, Hawkinson. These are the guys I like. Blake Jarwin. All right. Let's pick one of my favorite running backs from this area. Zach Moss definitely might be that guy. Just because, what we're hearing out of Buffalo is that, Moss could be the goal line guy, get those Frank Gore carries. Sony Michel, I don't like. Darrell Henderson, Marlon Mack is going to be involved to start the year. But everybody's just assuming that Jonathan Taylor's going to be the starter. I'm not really sure about that. I think I could probably wait for some of these guys, right? All right, let's go with Zach Moss. I think the touchdown vulture narrative could be very, very real. I really do. So that's why I'm going to go with him there. All right, there go 3 tight ends. So I waited, not too long, but I did play the game there. So I have 3 picks left. I need a tight end and a quarterback here. There goes Brady. So I know people are going to get some backup quarterbacks. I'm going to get my guy Matt Stafford here. Boom. Got him. And we already know that 11 tight ends have gone off the board. So I really kind of have my pick, and that would be Gesicki. And then I'd be getting Blake Jarwin on the waiver wire here because I think he's better than all of them. But right now I'm just playing the game with the draft board. It's just me. It's just my silly, just even stupid competitive nature that I want to get a better draft score at this just for no reason, just for myself. So we're going to pick one more high upside guy here. We've got 6 running backs. We've got 4 wide receivers. So we're going to take my favorite wide receiver that's going to be left down here. Let's find someone. We know I like Paris Campbell. Oh, he's gone. Brandon Ayuk, Curtis Samuel, Deshaun Jackson. I'm going to Deshaun Jackson. Because however long he's healthy, he'll be playable. They need wide receivers right now. The Eagles are just depleted with their receiver core. Another B. 86 out of 100. So that's the expert consensus rankings, right? The expert consensus is I'm 86 out of 100. But you look at the Fantasy Pros guys, and it's an 89, so it's 88, 89, and a 90. They like my team, and maybe their influence is working a little bit. I do listen to their show, so yeah, it's possible. Quickly review this team. All right, Matthew Stafford at quarterback. Now, you've seen him as my quarterback in a handful of leagues already. I'm sorry about that, but it's probably going to be true. He's going to be one of my quarterbacks in a lot of leagues, and probably my only quarterback. I think he's an every week playable guy. That's not just a matchup guy. The volume is there. He was having his best season to date so far through 8 games last year. Better weapons, than he's had in a while. I know, obviously, he had Calvin Johnson, but I do think that the trio of Galladay, Marvin Jones, and Danny Amendola with T.J. Hawkinson, definitely is up there. It might be his best set of weapons. You got 2 running backs now that are good with DeAndre Swift and Kerryon Johnson. So I think Stafford could be in for a really, really solid season. And getting him as the quarterback 12, I'm okay with that. Let's look at my running backs: Joe Mixon, Josh Jacobs, James Conner, Kareem Hunt, Antonio Gibson, and Zach Moss. That's a pretty nice lineup of running backs. I mean, with Joe Mixon and Josh Jacobs, you've got probably 2 of the top 5 guys in carries for this season, right? They probably project out that way to be, 2 of the very few 275 carry kind of guys on the season. And if they can both get to 35 receptions, maybe 40, then there's no reason why they're not going to both be top 6, top 7 running backs. Out wide here, and I think Devontae Parker keeps messing with my draft grade because I wait on wide receivers. I know there's wide receivers I love later. It's probably messing with my draft grades here. Tyler Lockett, Devontae Parker, Michael Gallup, Jerry Jeudy, and Deshaun Jackson. So a lot of upside here. I mean, listen, Tyler Lockett I think is pretty much locked in as at the very, very worst a high-end wide receiver 2. But I think he's a wide receiver 1. And I think you can say the same as Devontae Parker, maybe not a high-end wide receiver 2, but I think he's locked in as a wide receiver 2 at the worst, with every possibility of being a wide receiver 1. And, Michael Gallup is my guy. I have him as, I think, number 7. So really, if there's anything that you're taking away from these draft episodes, it's that if you have guys that you really like, you really believe in them, just make sure you get shares of them. I mean, if you've done the research or you have a source that you trust, like the GOAT, right? If you trust your source or you're doing your research, you got to trust your research, trust your gut, and know the guys that you like. So, I know that I really like Michael Gallup and Devontae Parker to outperform their ADP in a big way. And I'm going to lean into that. That's it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll have to reassess where I went wrong and how I got it wrong. But until then, I'm going to keep going with my gut. It's been doing well for me so far. Quick peek. Oh man, this is weird. All right, so look at this team. This team is projected to have the 4th most points, which I'd be okay with. You want the most, but if I have the 4th most points, probably in the playoffs, I got a shot at the title. At least I'm there, But somehow, I literally, they have my starting team as the lowest ranked team, with the least amount of points. So, you ask, how then, Jim, do you wind up with the 4th highest scoring team? Oh yeah, by having the number 1 scoring bench, and not even by a long shot. They've got me down for 300 bench points. The next closest is 240. And then that difference is the difference between the 2nd place guy and like the 9th place guy. So, I mean, that is pretty crazy. Highest scoring bench, I'll take that if my starters perform. And so if I'm correct and I trust my gut and those guys perform and the guys on the bench are great pieces, then man, this is a really good team. Again, I know I'm going to disagree with almost all of the draft grades, But for me, I definitely think that was a better team than that. So, yeah, I'm all right with that team. I'm all right with that team from the 11th spot. All right, we're almost there. One episode left in our draft prep series, and then we get to move along, man. We get to go to football. Oh my goodness, I know, less than a week. I'm excited. Thankfully, all weekend long is going to be, holiday weekend with some family barbecues, some small gatherings, not too big, obviously. Listen to Fish concerts all week long, some Labor Day fun. And then, and then it's football week. That's it. This is the last week. When this week ends, it's the last week without football for quite a long time. So there's no other way to say how excited I am about it. So that's it. That's going to do it for us today. Thank you very much for joining us. Remember, if you watch on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, like and share the videos, please. And if you are listening, you can listen anywhere on any of the major podcasting platforms, on Apple and Google, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and a bunch of other ones that I'm not too familiar with. But anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can try to find the GOAT Fantasy Football Podcast. All right, everybody, have a good one. We'll look forward to seeing you soon.